committee that can help us keep notes. I believe that Mr. Weatherwax will be joining us late due to a family obligation. Could someone just track some notes and give me a heads up so I can manage the meeting and document any outcomes? Mr. Saunders, can you jump in? Do you have that opportunity? Sorry, you're muted.
The position to do it. I'm trying to see if I get some paper. 1 second.
Say that again, Mr. Saunders.
So give me 1 second to get some paper. So take some notes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Saunders. For our committee members and our guests, first of all, let me just announce I'm James Ellis. I'm the chair of the Community Board 8 Liquor License and Sidewalk Cafe Review Committee. I'm joined by other members of our committee as well as a representative from our district office. And I believe there are a few applicants also on this teleconference call. I do believe this teleconference is being recorded for posterity purposes. We will also be taking hand notes with the support of Mr. Saunders. In order to get started and to verify a quorum, I just want to run through our new roster of members and just take a quick attendance. I'm going to be calling everybody's name for the sake of record keeping, but I can tell that many of them aren't here yet. But we'll start with Mr. Carmoni Allison, Wayne Bailey.
Yes.
Gail Branch Muhammad. Ms. Muhammad, I see you're on the screen. Can you acknowledge your presence? Circle back to Ms. Muhammad. Ms. Brown, Cheryl Brown. Ms. Janet Collins. Ms. Diane Duke. Can someone who's walking call in user 34. Can you mute your phone, please? Miss Michelle, Miss George, can you mute call in user 3?
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, better yet, you can just evict them from the meeting. All right, continuing on with the roll call. Ms. Diane Duke.
I'm here.
Thank you, Mr. James Ellis. Mr. Frazier. Mr. Oliver Hart.
Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Roger Myers. Mr. Robert Puka. Mr. Brian Saunders. Thank you. Meredith Staten. Mark Thurton.
Here.
Thank you. Ethel Tyus.
Present.
Gib Vaconi.
Present.
Irsa Weatherspoon.
Present.
Robert Witherwax. Deborah Young.
Yes, here.
James, I'm here. This is Gail, and I'm here.
Oh, great. Hi, Gail. Yeah, we've
Hi.
missed you a minute ago. With 11 member presence, I determine that we have a quorum. All right. So moving along, we're convening tonight to discuss a few renewal applications, as well as a new application for 628 Nostrand. If I can just take a quick head count to see who's here on the call for applicants, I will call by the address 100 Kingston Avenue.
I'm here.
100 Kingston. Hi, thank you. I keep losing my other page. Apologies. 535 Carlton, I know is here. Thank you. 625 Vanderbilt. Or sorry, 624 Vanderbilt. 1011 Dean Street. Hi, studio, you're here still?
Yes, sorry.
Thank you. And finally, 667 Franklin. And the new applicant being 628 No Street. All right, looks like we have a couple applicants here, so in order to get started, I will start with Brooklyn Clay with our friends Miss Jennifer Weverick and Laura Vogel.
Thank you. We won the
Thanks.
lotto.
Thanks for joining us. For the sake of record, I'm going to read your renewal application in for the benefit of those that aren't viewing it. I will also, let me just go ahead and forward this to the rest of my committee.
Oh, I love it. My favorite one, I think.
Does it have metal in the nose?
No, I hate the ones that have metal on the nose.
Give me one that has metal in the nose.
CB8. That's... All right. All right, so Ms. Weverick and Ms. Vogel are here for the application of renewal Brooklyn Clay LLC, doing business as Brooklyn Clay at 535 Carlton Avenue. Operating hours are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Operating as an art center with event space, inclusive of a restaurant bar. 2 tables with 5 seats. Again, hours of operation, maximum capacity is 100. Again, hours of operation are 10 to 10, 7 days a week. No current outdoor service area on the application. No sounds and music programming. 2 service employees and cameras and automated door locks on the establishment. 275 residents in the building. No operational changes implemented. No operational changes planned. Right. Are there any questions about this application from committee member or from any? I don't see any community members. Oh, I do see a couple. Hi, Mr. Atkins. Any questions from any community members on the renewal application proposed from Brooklyn Clay? Any questions or comments from any committee members on this application?
Janet Collins is also present.
Hi, Ms. Collins.
Aye.
All right, if you can mute yourself and not talking, that would be great. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? I'm trying to track the hand raising as well as in the chat since I'm flying solo on this right now.
Who for posting?
I'm sorry?
Posting for renewal?
For a renewal, yes. Hey, Mr. Myers. Just saw you pop in.
And we did do the posting 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and it's still up.
I make a motion that we accept the application's renewal.
I have a motion from.
You said they're invading your privacy.
I have a motion for Mr. Bailey, a second for Mr. Saunders. Any questions or comments on the motion? All right. So, Mr. Saunders, I'm going to call these names from the roster. If you can just keep tabs on their votes so we can have a record of it, I'd appreciate your help.
Okay.
I followed you. You're out in
All right. So, Kermoni Allison, Wayne Bailey,
Yes.
Gail Branch Mohammed, Mohammed,
Muhammad, yes.
thank you, Cheryl Brown, Janet Collins,
Gail has an echo, I think.
Yeah. Miss Collins?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Diane Duke?
Yes.
Can I ask that, listen, that's good. Mute yourself and I'll help us with the echo. Miss Collins,
Yes?
can you mute yourself? It's helping with the echo.
Oh,
James Ellis, I'll vote yes. Fred Frazier, Oliver Hart,
Yes.
Roger Myers,
Yes.
Robert Puka, Brian Saunders,
Yes.
Meredith Staten, Mark Thurton. Thank you. Ethel Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Gibb Viconi,
Yes.
Yrsa Weatherspoon,
Yes.
Robert Witherwax, Deborah Young. Miss Young,
I'm coming. Yes, I'm sorry.
thank you. Motion passes unanimously.
Yep. 13 yes.
This application and suggestion for support will be pushed forward to the full board. And at the September full board monthly meeting, the option for the board to ratify the committee's decision will stand. Miss George, can you share with us the information, or at least the date and time of the full community board meeting that's next scheduled?
Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, just hold tight and we'll get you the next date.
No
So
problem. Keep doing
Great.
what you're doing.
Okay.
thanks.
The next meeting is October 8th.
All right. And
Okey-dokey.
that'll be most likely by telezoom.
Yes, via WebEx.
By 6:15 is usually the start time on this.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Miss Jennifer and Miss Laura, thank you guys for joining us by Zoom. You're welcome to continue listening in, but obviously I know running a business takes precedence.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
evening.
Good night.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the renewal for 100 Kingston Avenue, Kingston Public House. Hi there, Mr. Bill.
Yes, it's Bill.
Hi there. I'm going to take 1 second and try to pull up the information.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm going to read out this, but in order for me to do so, I need to make sure. Miss Bill, there you go. You muted. It helps. Yeah, for some reason, if there's another live mic when talking, it seems to echo. So I'm just going to, out of respect for the facility of this call, is just ask everybody to stay muted until they need to speak. But I'm going to try to run through Mr. Bill, and I'm looking at the name. Is it Pridgeon? His application for Kingston Public House LLC at 100 Kingston Avenue. Time operating is 21 months. As a are you considered a restaurant bar?
Bar lounge. Yeah.
With a liquor, wine, beer, cider license. 4 tables with 4 seats. 1 bar with 8 seats. And now I got to figure out the order of this application because it came in pieces. All right. So looks like our patron capacity is 50 to 60. Hours of operation are Sunday, 3 p.m. to midnight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 2 a.m., Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. No outdoor service area. No, no outdoor service area on number 2. 3 service employees, 0 security, but alarm system and closed caption television. 2 residents in the building, 2 on each side. No operation changes planned. No operation changes made. Sure, I have it all. All right, looks like that's the application. Is there anything, does any community members have any questions or comments about this application? 1 second, I'm checking hands raised as well as anybody unmuting. Any questions?
I can't seem to get my hand down.
What's that?
I can't get my hand down.
I don't see your hand.
Okay.
Do you have a comment, Ms. Tyus?
I'm just wondering if our renewals are taking advantage of the opportunity to have tables outside.
That's why I saw Kingston, you have the tables outside.
Mr. Pridgeon?
Of a curbside setup, which was approved by the city.
All right. By curbside, do you mean in the parking lane or on
Yes.
the sidewalk?
In the front of the sidewalk is just a small space in front of the lounge, but then right in the street, yeah, we have the right in front of the venue.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from our committee members?
What's the address again, please?
100 Kingston Avenue.
100 Kingston Avenue.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Ms. Duke, can you mute yourself?
Can you mute yourself, please?
I don't think it is.
Thank you. All right. Seeing or hearing no questions or comments, may I get a motion, please?
I make a motion that we accept the application for renewal.
I second it.
Motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Saunders. Any questions on the motion? Check in the chat, check in for hand raised. All right, I will call the vote. Kimoni, I'm gonna go, if I overlook you on the roster, let me know. I'm just gonna try to eliminate some of the non-present names. Wayne Bailey.
Wayne Bailey.
Yes.
Yes.
Dale Branch Mohammed.
Dale Branch Mohammed.
Ms. Mohammed.
Ms. Mohammed.
She's muted.
All right, no vote.
All right, no vote.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Duke.
Ms. Duke.
Yes.
Great. James Ellis, yes. Fred Frazier, Oliver Hart,
Yes.
Roger Myers.
Yes.
Thank you. Brian Saunders.
Said,
Mr. Saunders, can you read, please? Thank you. Mark Thurton,
Yes.
Ethel Tyus,
Yes.
I didn't hear you call Janet Collins.
I'm sorry, Ms. Collins. I'll record your vote now.
Yes.
Thank you. Apologies for the oversight. Gib Vaconi,
Yes.
Irsa Weatherspoon,
Yes.
Deborah Young.
Yes.
All right, item passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Bill Pridgeon. And October 8th will be the full board meeting. I'll ratify this committee's vote for support.
So much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next item. I don't have any other paperwork except for Kai Studio. So let's jump to 1011 Dean Street. Is Ms. Kimmy Murphy's on the phone?
Can you hear me?
Hi, yes, thank you.
Okay.
And please identify yourself again.
Hold on one moment. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Just, can you identify your first and last name just for our record?
Kimmy Murphy.
All right. We just don't have any visual, so we just want to confirm that you're representing this establishment. So as I read this application, excuse me, Ms. Kimmy Murphy is here for Vision 2 Reality Designs Incorporated, doing business as Kai Studio at 1011 Dean Street. How long have you been in operation here, Ms. Murphy?
Going on 13 years.
13 years. All right. The application was just an incorrect, or the response was not correct. It's at a catering hall, and your license that you've been serving off of is a beer and wine or a liquor beer wine.
Liquor, beer, wine.
All right. That wasn't indicated on your application. 14 tables, 12 seats.
Mm-hmm.
One bar. I'm sorry, Ms. Murphy, this application doesn't have a lot indicated. There's a lot of blanks. What are your hours of operation on what days of the week?
So we don't have any set hours per se. We are only open when we are booked.
Right, but according to your SLA application and your license that you have for the last 13 years, you're permitted to be operating under what days and what hours?
Right. So previously, every 2 years, we seem to be going through the same thing. It's really hard. The application does not apply too much to event spaces. So it's really hard. We made an error 2 years ago by putting, I think it was 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. And we really put ourselves in like this box, and which was incorrect. Technically, when we are booked, we are generally open. It could be anywhere from a day event, or it could be from 12 p.m. to a 5-hour booking, or 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. So it varies. So It's really hard to say what our hours are. We are not a restaurant. We are a banquet hall.
Sorry, Ms. Murphy. Ms. Murphy, let me just interject here. But what your application that you have with the State Liquor Authority on your application,
right.
on your license, it indicates what your service hours and days are. Like it should be documented on your license. I just wanted to know.
On the license, it indicates that. What do you have listed there?
I don't. Your application is blank.
Okay, no, I mean on the liquor license from 2 years ago.
I don't have that liquor license physical. I don't have a visual of that.
So on the application, I indicated a rough range of the hours that we would be in operations if we were booked.
Gotcha. And is that the 12 to 4 that I see indicated?
Correct.
All right. And that's 7 days a week?
Correct.
And are you currently legal? Are you currently allowed by the SLA to operate under those hours?
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I was just trying to determine. What's been happening in the past versus what we're seeing today. All right. So for clarity for the rest of our committee, they are permitted by the SLA for 12 to 4, 7 days a week, 12 p.m. to 4 a.m., 7 days a week. They have a capacity of 287 people, 4 speakers, 2,000 watts on the main floor. Live entertainment is offered on occasion. 4 service employees, 2 security personnel, 0 residents in the building, 3 to the right, 3 to the left, 3 to the right, 0 to the left, 0 to the rear. No operational changes have been implemented. No operational changes are planned. Are there any questions or comments on the renewal of 1011 Dean Street from any of our community members that are on this call with us today? Hi, Mr. Weatherwax. I'm happy that you joined us. Thank you. I don't see really any community members except for Mr. Atkins. All right, any questions or comments from our committee members? Hearing or seeing no questions.
Quick question. Are they set up right now for events in terms of social distancing at their studios at the moment? If people want to rent it out right now?
Ms. Murphy?
No, as per Governor Cuomo, we are not permitted to do so. We cannot right now. Currently, we are closed. We've been closed since March.
Until possibly the end of this month with 25%, maybe?
That's right.
Possibly, yes. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we're large enough to accommodate 25%, yes.
Okay, because I was asking because I know groups who are looking for space, and I wanted to at least recommend that at least your location could be an option. So they'll probably call, depending on what time frame their event is, possibly post the end of this month. So thank you for that answer.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any other questions from our committee members? Hearing or seeing none, I'll ask for a motion. Oh, hi, Mr. Thurton. Sorry, Mr. Thurton, you're really breaking up. I don't know if you can try again or you want to put any comment in the chat.
Paste.
Oh, great. Thank you.
No, we do not.
They are not operating with any outdoor space.
James?
All right. Hi, Ms.
James,
Muhammad.
yes, no question, comment. It's a lovely venue, good management. And I think that, again, she's done a lot of things for the community. So I highly recommend Kai Studios.
Is this a motion you'd like to make, Ms. Muhammad?
Yes, it is. I make a motion to accept the application as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Muhammad. I have a motion. Is there a second?
Yes, please.
I'll second.
I'll second Deborah Young.
All right. For the record, I'll accept Ms. Deborah Young as a second. First by Ms. Muhammad. Any questions on the motion? All right. We'll call the roll here. Mr. Witherwax, I need Miss Diane Duke to meet. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Witherwax.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Not knowing who's there, so forgive me. Mr. Allison? Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Miss Branch Mohammed?
Giving a call.
Miss Brown? Miss Collins?
No.
Miss Duke?
Yes.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Frazier? Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Pardon me. Ms. Collins, can you mute yourself, please?
Mr. Puka?
Yes. Okay.
Mr. Saunders?
Hey, Mr. Puka's
Yes. Yes.
I heard Mr. Puka. I have Mr. Saunders. Mr. Staten?
Sorry, Mr. Witherwax. I don't think Mr. Puka's on the call, so that might have been an overlap.
Okay.
So you started with Mr. Myers. You got his. You recorded his vote.
Yep.
All right. And then Mr. Puka, just to confirm.
I had Mr. Puka, and there was no Mr. Puka. Then I have Mr. Saunders, who said yes. And then Mr. Staten. Mr. Thurton.
That was a yes.
Thank you. Mr. Vacconi.
Sorry, you forgot Ms. Tyus.
I vote
So I did.
yes. Ethel Tyus votes.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Vacconi,
Yes.
Ms. Witherspoon,
Yes.
Mr. Wither abstained just because I was late. Ms. Young,
Yes.
motion passes 11 in favor, 1 opposed, 1 abstention.
Thank you, Mr. Wax. And thank you, Ms. Murphy. Appreciate you being on this call with us.
Thank you.
All right. Now, continuing on, according to our agenda, we're also supposed to be hearing from 6667 Franklin, what we don't have any application materials for, and that is St. Enns, which I believe is down by St. Mark's, and also 624 Vanderbilt for Amarino Cucina Rustica. But I have no paperwork for either of those applications. Does the committee have any suggestions or recommendations?
Mr. Ellis,
Hi.
I'd like to bring in information I gathered at this afternoon's borough consultation for the community boards.
Was that, give Ms. Tyus 1 second, is that in reference to either of these applications?
No,
Okay, 1 second. We'll circle back to your new announcements. Mr. Myers, can you unshare your screen? Hijacked us. Ms. George, can you take away that content? I don't know if you have that ability.
I am working on it. I don't know what just happened.
I can't see anything.
nice photo.
Yeah. Are there any recommendations for the 2 renewals that are on our agenda that we do not have participants or applications for?
If there are no prior records of problems, I suggest we consider supporting them.
Applications?
Sorry?
I thought I heard you say, James, that they're new applications.
There's one new one, but we also don't have their paperwork either.
I would second Ms. Tyus's motion to approve Amarina and St. Enns, since neither of them have had any prior problems.
Larry, looks like Mr.
How about
Whitwax made a
the
motion.
times and the dates, the times, the opening days? Is it okay? The dates, the times that they're for opening.
Ms. Duke, we don't have any paperwork.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, we can't make. I don't know the answer.
But renewals are contingent upon renewing at the same, they can't change things up on a renewal.
And Mr. Myers, can you stop sharing content? Evidently, you ended up sharing content on the screen and you're hijacking the screen. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that. That makes it so much easier to navigate the room now. All right, I have a motion by Mr. Witherwax to support the renewal for St. Enns and the renewal for Amarino. Is there a second to this motion?
I second.
Second by Mr. Bailey. Any questions on this motion being made? Double checking any hands raised. All right, please call the vote, Mr. Witherwax.
I will, but just to answer Ms. Duke's question, I don't have the hours for Amarina, but I do have the hours for St. Enns. They close at 2 a.m. every day. They have 70 seats. They have a rear yard that closes at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. for usual requirements. but we don't know how many outdoor seats they have.
All right, I have unfounded information that they're serving in their rear yard till 4 a.m.
All right, well, that certainly is beyond the scope of what we approved.
All right.
Do we want to amend the motion to be explicit?
I would feel more comfortable in doing so until we have clarity on their use of their rear yard.
All right, let's. I will accept a friendly amendment to the motion that renewal is approval contingent upon the rear yard hours of operation where service ceases by 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
I have a question.
Sorry, I need Miss Duke to mute herself, and then I'll let Mr. Saunders ask his question. I believe it's who it was. Go ahead, Mr. Saunders.
What time is the outside sidewalk supposed to close?
So open streets and open dining are limited till 11 p.m. daily, but there is some uncertainty, or there is some about private property being used to the extent of their liquor license application and permit. So there are some establishments that I believe can operate in rear yards past the 11 o'clock hour as long as it's been permitted on their liquor license.
The sidewalk, on the sidewalk there.
So sidewalk in public space would be 11 p.m. It would cease all service, according to the executive order by the state. Does that satisfy your question, Mr. Saunders?
Does.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on the motion? All right, hearing or seeing no indications of questions or comments, I'll ask Mr. Witherwax to call the vote, please.
With me. Seem to have lost my. Hold on, here it is.
The motion, please.
The motion was to support the renewal for Amarina, support the renewal for St. Anne's with an explicit condition that its rear yard service stops at 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
All right, carry on, Mr. Witherwax.
Kirmoni Allison. Wayne Bailey.
Yes.
Dale French Muhammad.
Ms. Muhammad? Say it again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Muhammad. Ms. Collins.
No.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Thank you. Collins, Ms. Duke.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Duke. Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Mr. Frazier. Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. Mr. Myers.
Mr. Myers?
Mr. Myers.
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Mr.
Okay.
Saunders. Mr. Saunders.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Saunders. Ms. Tyus.
Ms. Tyus?
I'll come back to Ms. Tyus. Mr. Thurton.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Thurton. Ms. Tyus.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Tyus. Mr. Vicconi.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Vicconi. Ms. Weatherspoon.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Weatherspoon. Mr. Witherwax. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Wither.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Young. The motion passes 12 in favor, 1 opposed.
Thank you, Mr. Witherwax, for the roll call. That moves
And
on to
I'm-
our other. Go ahead. What happened?
I'm just going to have to hop off in 2 minutes.
leaving?
So if
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this here, and then we'll let Ms. Tyus make her announcement. I'm going to make a motion to table the item Trini Credit Girl West Indian Cuisine at 628 Nostrand Avenue due to the failure to appear and the lack of paperwork. Can I get a second on that motion?
I'll second it.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Witherwax. Do we need to take a full roll vote?
Not on a table.
Thank you. All right, so that clears our agenda. I appreciate everybody's patience in dealing with the technology gaps and confusion, as well as the paperwork and applications that seek to, we only got in part, I guess, due to lack of applicants submitting. And Ms. Tyus, if you'd like to share with us some new knowledge that you wanted to share,
Yes, this afternoon.
I'll give you the floor.
Thank you very much. This afternoon, a borough consultation on borough-wide budget. They revisited the concept of a virtual rat academy, given that the sanitation commissioner has resigned, and intends to run for mayor. Want everyone to know, especially if you're in business, that you should be looking at the fact that they will not be picking up commercial strips the way sanitation will not be picking up on regular schedule. So in order to prevent the rats from taking over, we should be paying attention to ways that can be managed. That's it.
Any other new business or old business that any of the committee members would like to present tonight?
Yes, James, this is Gail.
Hi, Gail.
Muhammad. Hi,
Yep.
Crown Heights North Association, and with the help also of Mark Thurton, we're working with some of the businesses on Nostrand Avenue, the bars and restaurants, and we've planned an event for a taste of Nostrand on October 10th and 11th, and we're meeting with them again tomorrow. We have 4 businesses that have committed to take part in the event, and the businesses are starting a organization or working on an organization called InBar, which Nostrand Bar, and that will be taking place on the 10th and the 11th of October.
That's great, Ms. Mohammed. Thank you for sharing that information. As soon as you have any marketing materials, if you want to distribute that to our listserv as well as to the board office, I'm sure we'll be able to distribute that more widely once it's there.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yep.
Mr. Ellis, I had just one item, because I came in late. Maybe this was covered, but there are a couple other renewals that are up at the end of September that I don't know if they weren't on the agenda for tonight, so I just wanted to address that.
Please enter those names so we know what they're in the record. Yeah.
Cheryl's Global Soul Food, Mayfield.
What was the third one?
Suite 704, 704 no.
Okay.
This one may be,
Gotcha. All right. Well, interestingly enough, Cheryl. So you said Cheryl's Global Soul, Mayfield's, and Suite 704, according to our records, are up for renewal, but did not present today.
James, can I add to that? That Suite 704 is one of the businesses that was cited for violations because of serving inside, as well as no face masks on employees.
Thank you for sharing that.
So I'm not sure what has happened. If they've been able to go to the SLA to deal with that issue, but I do know that they were one of the organizations that restaurant bars that have been cited.
Yeah, they were in operations as of Friday when I was on Nostrand Avenue, just as an aside. So it seems like they might have gotten most everything cleared since that enforcement issue.
Okay.
Okay, well, I don't know unless I think Mr. Witherwax has stepped back because he now has to contend to some family obligations, but the knowledge that those 3 that are up for renewal, will just maybe we can request the board office to communicate with them and remind them that they were up for renewal. I don't know if that's what the general process is there. They didn't show. All right. Any other business? Hearing or seeing no other. Hi, go ahead.
Can I ask a quick question? Was Trini Girl supposed to renew and didn't present any paperwork?
Trinity Girl is a new application to us.
New application. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out because I know, or I thought they had filed or attempted to file last year. But the address and them opening up recently, and I saw that they promoted liquor on their sign, had me question when they either filed or were they filing now.
Yeah, it appears, according to our understanding, this would have been a new application, and that's why they were put on the agenda for a new one. But we did not receive any paperwork, and obviously they're not here today with us on this call. So as it stands, it's been tabled, and when they show up, they can have us review their application.
Okay. Should they, will they be tabled until next month in essence, or?
I mean, I think that's that's entirely up to them communicating with the board office if they're prepared or not to be on the agenda.
Okay, understood.
Thank you.
That's correct, Mr. Ellis. They sent the 30-day notice, but never submitted any paperwork.
Okay. And can I get it? What can you explain to me what the protocol might be for those 3 establishments that we have according to our database that we're up for renewal for this?
So we don't typically reach out to establishments that are up for renewal because one, we don't know their situation. They normally reach out to us. So we wait for them because we have businesses open and close all the time. So we don't reach out to those businesses. So it's usually up to them to reach out to us 30 days prior to applying for their liquor license. So what SLA does, 2 months before their license expires, the SLA sends out the notice of renewal. So they get ample time.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for that. All right. Last call for any questions or comments, new business or old. All right. Hearing or seeing none at 7:01, I'd make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Thank you all. I appreciate your patience again today. Thanks for joining us on this and helping us create and maintain a quorum to do our business. We'll move all these action items over to the full board meeting on October, I believe it's 8th, as Ms. George shared with us. And until I see you all or talk to you all again, have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you, James.